Welcome, guys, back to another episode of Sky Wars. Today, I'm talking about school field trips because they kind of suck. I mean, like the first few that you ever go on, they're pretty fun. You get to go to some museums and you go to have fun activities while you're there. But then after that, they just become like super bland and you don't want to go to them anymore. Not to mention, they ended up becoming super expensive. I remember there was one that was like $500 to go on, and I was like, I don't have $500. Who here has $500 to pay for a field trip? Like, I'd rather spend that on something useful, like a graphics card. Something that'll actually last me a while. Because no one's ever said, I have so many great memories from my field trip. Okay, most field trips you'll immediately forget after like 24 hours, if that. One of the most boring field trips I ever went on was like in like the 4th or 5th grade. I don't remember what it was, but basically, how I went was there's a person in here. It was basically like pants. It was a NASA museum or something like that. It was like commemorating all of our past achievements in space and stuff like that. And you think that's pretty cool. I'm like, no, it was incredibly boring. They literally had the most monotone person there as they talked about the rover on Mars and like the space rocks. Well, they actually had a meteor there, but it was in a glass case. You weren't allowed to touch it or anything, which makes sense, I guess. They're probably super expensive. I'm kind of trapped right now. There's someone coming. I'm just gonna run away. I am being chased. I mean, the most fun thing about the field trip was like this 3D part where they had like an entire graph or something with like planets you can see in 3D. My head started to hurt after a while because the goggles or like the glasses they give us were not fun to wear. They were stiff pieces of plastics that we put on our faces. I'm not gonna make that. Also, I'm like kind of sick right now, so please don't judge me. Oh my gosh, what was that? This guy, he just doesn't know how to chillax. Oh my gosh. Okay, next game. Now I'm actually gonna talk about one of my most fun field trips, which was probably the science museum type thing. I'm not really sure what it was because it kind of went over everything. Like I think they called it the science museum, but it also went over like history and like math and like all the different discoveries. And there was like one where I had like a workout room called like related back to physical hygiene, keeping yourself healthy and fit. The weirdest part about the room is that there was a nail bed. Like, nail bed? Like, what's that got to do with strength and fitness? I'm not sure there's that many people who just have a nail bed in their house and you're just going as you try to endure the pain as you're getting stabbed from the back. Actually, going on it wasn't that bad. It's actually kind of weird to be on. It just feels like a large, what the heck? Kind of imagine bubble wrap, but like pokey, I guess. That was actually the last field trip I ever went on. I've never gone on a field trip ever since. Actually, there are these field trips that my school does. They call them field trips. They're not field trips at all. They're just disguised as field trips. And then we have to pay like an outrageous amount of money because they're actually required to go to because they're grades for some reason. You get a grade to go on the trip. Who decided that? I don't know. The most recent one we went on, when we came back from the trip, they asked us, hey, was that a fun field trip? And everyone was like, no, that was not fun whatsoever. There was nothing fun about it. You all suck at performing field trips. And I know that wasn't the real field trip but they actually did have an actual field trip that was like assigned like 6 months ago. So that one makes sense. This felt like a last minute one. Like, they tried to get something done because the class was just super boring. But they also counted it as our final exam, which I'm not really sure why you would do that. This is your final. We're going over this one place, and you're not gonna have fun. Alright, sounds like a plan. A good plan? No. But is it a plan? Absolutely. What is this man doing? Sir? Okay. Also, like, the quote-unquote field trip had us work on, like, these tablets or, like, laptops or computer type things. And basically, one of the assignments was like, learning how to spend your money wisely and what it would be like to actually have a real life budget. And it was nothing like having a real life budget. I have an actual budget, and this was nothing like it. It was like, all right, here you got to put your money into this. You save up this much for television and entertainment and going to the park or going to the gym. But like after you set your budget, you weren't allowed to go back and change it, which actually ruined everything because I couldn't afford a house to continue on with like this weird page assignment. Like we could have just done the entire assignment at school, but they chose to do it at this place that cost like $30 to go to. I'm not even sure what the real name is. It's like 5 words long. The Americans Kid Foundation of Learning and Fun. That's not what the name was, but that's practically what the name was trying to be. A mystery chest was open. Oh, there's only one of us left. One more left. Oh, he's coming. I was completely ready for an entire fight, like the most epic fight you would have ever seen, and then he jumps off the side of the map. There was this one time, the front office to our school tried playing music over the loudspeaker for like an activity, and it did not work whatsoever. The music was like all crackly and messed up, and it sounded awful, and we had to endure that for like 5 minutes because it was like preset. So there was nothing we could do. I think it was like some sort of like dancing thing, like you had to dance to like the music. No one did it, by the way. Everyone just kind of sat around just listening to this awful music that they had set up. There's also like those few field trips that take forever to get to. Like they take like a good 2 hours to get to, and then so then when you get there, you get to spend like 3 hours there, and then you immediately go back. And then sometimes you get back early, so then you end up spending the next hour at school doing absolutely nothing because the teachers didn't have anything planned for that day. Congratulations, guys. You just wasted our days and your days as well. So in conclusion, don't make mandatory field trips. Field trips are kind of dumb. Don't make them overpriced. And, just leave the overpriced ones actually just to, like, high schoolers and stuff like that. For the people who can actually afford, like, the very expensive field trips. And make sure to look into the field trips so they're not actually, like, completely dumb and stupid. And, like, nobody wants to go to them at all. That way kids can actually leave with, like, a good impression of what they did. That they might actually want to go back or something. Or recommend it to other people. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you want to see more quality content, then why don't you click on that video there? And also, why not go support Villager395? He recently left the YouTube community for a short amount of time. So why not go click on his video, support him, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I've been your host, Hi Mr. Creature, and I'm signing off.